Hello, everybody, with Topher shaking his tatas. Welcome to
Good
the Llama
morning.
Drama Podcast. Yes, so today we are on, the time may have changed for some people, but whether or not it has changed, glad to see you here. I am Yemi as usual, and we have got all four of our social media side of our growth team. Today we are going to be discussing fandoms. Okay, so it's going to get my gallo nitty gritty in here, but I hope you guys will be open and be ready for this discussion. So, first of all, let's talk about our own interactions with fandoms while we introduce ourselves. So I don't think of myself as a super fandom person. I'm Yemi, as I said. You can find me at BL Japan Taiwan, and I usually do writing for DramaLlama. I don't think of myself as a super fandom person, and I don't think I've ever been. So sometimes I'm like, maybe I'm too old for fandoms, but maybe I've never been a fandom person, because when I was younger, you'd get the magazines with, like, all the like kid celebrity gossip, right? The 16-year-old, like, oh, what's his name? Jason Taylor Thomas, was that his name?
Jonathan.
JTT,
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Jonathan. Oh my gosh,
JTT.
JTT.
Oh my god.
Right? Back in the day. So yeah, you get those magazines and they would be like, this person's dating this person, and I just really never cared. If they were giving me my shows or my content or my songs or whatever, as long as they were happy, I was fine. The only time I freaked out was because I was in high school. Like, I used to like watch French things and stuff, like a little weirdo. And this is pre-internet, so like, you have to go buy the things to watch them. And so there was this artist, Vanessa Paradis, that sang the song Je la Taxi. And I was like, nobody knows her because I'm a little weirdo in French. And then Johnny Depp was dating her. I was like, oh my God! Because it was like real world, everybody knows person dating my person. So that was my one like fan freak out. But like, I just never felt the need to be in that community so much. That said, I am surrounded by super fans because Japan is a super fan country, right? And so you have people that like, this person used a towel and it was on sale and I bought it, like, so it's just, I can see a lot of that, but I'm not involved, right? I was for a second involved in 3 official fan clubs. I was in Mew and Ghost separate fan clubs after they wrote them. So like they had 2 separate fan clubs run by the same company, because it was just like, this is clearly what used to be the Muyogo fan club is now 2 separate fan clubs. I was just in there to see what a fan club is like, official fan club, right? Singto's as well. I was in Singto's fan club, and I used to get a birthday card from Singto, and access to some like super exclusive fan events and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I've never really been, I follow this person's every move. Who wants to go next? Tell us about yourself and your connection with fandoms. Okay. Go ahead, Mama Mochi.
Swarika-kun, this is Mama Mochi. You already know me. Fandoms. Well, I purposely wear purple today because of,
Oh, no, not me. Accidentally wearing purple. Go ahead.
AJ. Because next week, BTS is coming back to life.
Excited. I'm so excited. Oh my god.
So I was like, yeah, I have to be purple today because we were supposed to have a podcast next week, but we just shoot to this week because of BTS, because the whole world has to stop because BTS is coming back. So
Yes.
and I am just a fan of BTS, but somehow when you're a fan of BTS, you become an army. You become one of them in the fandom. But I don't think I will. How do you say that? Be in the fandom, even though I'm army, because I don't know, 6 years army now, but I don't like fandoms, I think. But then again, non-fam from non just took me in, and I'm happy to be there. I'm one of their family now, and that's a beautiful, very wholesome, beautiful fandom. So, so I don't know, and it's new to me because I'm old. We don't have fandoms in the Netherlands. We don't have. You can be a fan of someone. Maybe we have like a little fan club, but that's not a fandom. So for me, it was a totally new concept when I became a BTS fan. Then suddenly you come into army, and there are beautiful army out there. I made beautiful friends, but there are so many toxic army out there too, and that's why I think fandoms in BL for me is a no. I don't want to be in anybody's fandom in BL. So yeah. Okay, that's it for now.
All right.
Okay.
I guess I'll go next. Hi, I'm AJ. You can find me over on YouTube at Kpop Beat, also on Twitch at AJ_NS. I do streaming, BL reactions, that kind of thing. So yeah, for me, I think I haven't really gotten super involved with fandoms over the years. I mean, I've always been really into music, so I would join like official like clubs and things for bands back in the day. Like I was part of the Linkin Park Underground thing that they had. I also would follow like I guess fan pages set up by the bands themselves for like Billy Talent and different things. But I really never got into the online space because, I mean, back in the day, we didn't have the same online spaces as we do now. So I fell into online spaces more when I became Army. So for BTS, so there's BTS. The Kingdom is the other K-pop group I was really into. Like I joined their official membership. I've had the Army official membership and all that kind of stuff. But I still stayed kind of in the designated spaces by the companies, so to speak. I was on Twitter for a bit. I have met a lot of really, really wonderful people through the fandoms, but I've also been exposed to the toxic side of these are the rules. And if you don't follow these rules and you don't buy these things and you don't say these things about our boys, you are not officially part of this fandom. And I think that's where I had to kind of be like, okay, I'm going to take a step back. You guys can have your rules. I'm going to be over here doing my thing and supporting them the way I can and the way I need to in my capacity. I think for me, it's like I appreciate fandoms and the fact that they support the groups, the BL couples or the series and things. But it's when certain lines get crossed over where it's like this fan is more important than this fan, or you're not a fan if you can't purchase things. So as much as I appreciate other armies, I've met a lot of really wonderful people in these spaces. Yeah, I think for me, it's just I've kind of backed my way out of these spaces over the last few years. So, but that's part of the thing that like I like about some of the communities for like the reactors and things, because I feel like they're more curated to the kind of similar maybe mentalities, and it's a fun space to just exist and love the things we love.
That went deep. Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, lots of little things to get into there, like how your individual bit of culture helps you experience fandoms, because international fandoms are wild. We got a lot of different stuff going on, right? And yeah, and you also brought up the point that we are probably a little bit average age, except Topher, who's 19, average age above the people that interact a lot with fandoms, right? I would say for BL fandoms, the average age is probably somewhere between 15 and 25 or something,
Yes.
and that's not us. So we might have a bit of a different discussion. All right, the
Yeah.
man, the legend, the Tofa. Please give
Wahoo!
us your
Oh.
introduction.
Well, first and foremost, I just glanced over at my Twitch screen that I have over here because I was monitoring Twitch, and like it paused at a very inopportune moment. So Yemi is just like frightened. She's making this. She's like, and I'm like, oh my god, what happened? Is it a stream? I'm like, no, it just paused. So it tickled me a little bit. I wish I could share screen, but unfortunately, I do not have the ability in this moment. But yes, I'm Topher. Topher Reacts and like 400 other YouTube channels that I do nothing with. I make music and BL content mostly. My experience with fandoms, I don't particularly partake in any fandoms myself. Most of my interactions with fandoms have been through my reactions and other like fandoms finding my channel because I've reacted to an artist that they love or a series that they love or something along those lines. And good and bad, mixed experiences. So some fandoms are super welcoming, some are super amazing, and then like Mamochi said, some of them can be extremely toxic at times, and which we'll get into more a little bit later. But there have been many a time where it's like I've enjoyed whatever music I was listening to or whatever artist I was listening to, but I've stopped reacting to them because I don't feel like interacting with the fandoms. Because sometimes the fandoms can be terribly off-putting. But on the other side of the coin, sometimes fandoms can be super welcoming and super just embracing, and it's just a lovely place to be. So it's a catch-22, So, but we'll get into more details.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you everybody for your introductions. Quick look at the chat. I'd just like to say hello to everybody. So hi Naomi, logging on and hearing JTT's name. Yep, I summoned you. Hi Claire. Hi Venus. Thank you for joining us today. Hi Star. Gary, nice to see you back. Gary was with us. We just premiered an interview with Chris McCombs from Ichaku the movie. So you can go watch that on YouTube. And you can also watch Ichaku at Gaga Ulala in 240 territories and on Amazon Prime, depending on where you are. Might be paid content if you're in the Americas, because apparently Amazon Prime hates the Americas. But we can't do anything about that. He can't.
A lot of people in the world do.
Right. Oh no. But thank you for coming back, Gary. Sidia, thank you for joining us. Mad Mix, hello. So are you guys involved in fandoms? Let us know in this in the chat. Claire would like to know, what's the meaning of purple, Mama Mochi? What's the meaning of the purple?
Of the purple, it's Borahe, and V from BTS said that purple. Help me, AJ. My brain is tired. Purple is the last color of the rainbow, and it's more than just "I love you." It's more than that. But I don't remember what he exactly said. Do you remember?
It's been a while since I heard the whole explanation.
Yeah.
So I just go with purple is to show our love for BTS and how we support them and all those kinds of things.
Like purple you, we say, or Borahe,
yes.
Borahe, or
Borahe.
purple you. Yeah. So it's definitely the color of BTS. But V of BTS introduced it.
Yeah.
And that's how we claimed it.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Hello to Sally, and Claire wants to know, does following Topher's BL journey count as a fandom?
Yes.
Yes.
I hope not.
Legend said it should.
No.
We're all Topher fans here.
You're not making me no.
Like, I'm here because I'm a Topher fan. Like, that's how it went. Okay, so I always like to do the bad things first, so we can end on a high note. So let's talk about generally fandoms behaving badly. What makes a fandom toxic? Why do you think BL specifically tends into a darker space in fandom. I know there are other spaces in Asia, that we do tend into a darker space. But let's talk about fandoms behaving badly. Anybody have anything they want to get off their chest immediately? I feel like it's going to be Mama Mochi here, but go ahead, whoever, anybody. Anybody?
Anybody?
she's like, I'm not gonna start because I got a lot.
The floor is yours.
You put me on the spot there.
No, I know you have stuff, but I can get started if you don't want to. It's fine.
I can start off.
Okay, go ahead, AJ.
I think, well, again, I feel like there's balance in this stuff, and not that I'm trying to sugarcoat like the toxic side of the fandoms, but again, my experience in fandoms was with K-pop things, but for when I got into BL things, I didn't know there was the fandoms that there were. I kind of just fell into BL like I fell into K-pop on my own, like scouring the internet for somebody who also might be into the same things as me. And that's when like I fell into the reactor community for that. So I feel like my experience with things has maybe been a bit sheltered, shall we say, until I went out on the space of Twitter and those places. Now, I think for me, the bad part is when the fans start thinking they have control over what their favorite actors or their favorite ship is allowed to do and not allowed to do. I think we also get into a toxic space when we're trying to be like, well, I'm more important than you are in this fandom because I do more, or I've been here longer, or I know more about them. And it's like almost like there needs to be some people curate it to be like an importance thing for themselves where they matter more sometimes even than the people they're supporting. And that's when I take issue with it. I don't want rules. I don't want specific things I have to follow. I don't want specific people in a fandom I have to listen to. So it's just like, if we are going to be in that space, I am not going to be there. And it, like, as we've seen in the BL sphere, it's caused problems for work with actors. And when some of these ships essentially break up, it causes them problems with work. Like fandoms don't want them to work with anyone else, or one member of the ship gets targeted and like they're the bad one that caused all of it, even though there's no proof anywhere of anything. It's like, because I like this side of the ship more, we're going to blame the other one. And it spirals from there. Like, support who you love, do whatever you want, don't interfere with their actual lives and their work. So.
Okay, nice points. Anybody else have anything to contribute on the dark side of fandoms?
Well, like I said, I don't know fandoms. Like, it's such a new concept to me, especially BL fandoms, especially the Thai BL fandoms. I just watch from the outside and see things happening, and I'm like, how can this be? Like, I heard that the director from Bunprem, when they did the vampire show series, I don't remember the name.
Revamp.
Revamp, thank you. Yeah. Revamp. Yeah, that the director said, I will not be working with Bunprem anymore because of the fandom. And I'm like, how can you be as a fan of somebody or the ship, or how can you be so demanding or toxic that you break them up, or you but like AJ said, cause them to lose their jobs, or somebody doesn't want to work with them anymore. How can you do that? When you love somebody, you want to support them in every way possible, right? So I don't understand fandoms, and how did they even get this much control over things? I don't understand that. But and like I said, the Untamed. I don't know exactly what happened between
227 incident. Is you can look it up. It's in Wikipedia.
I don't know exactly what happened. I think I know a little bit, but also that they cannot be very close to each other in the same space. The main actors, like what, why, what? I don't understand a lot of things, but that's especially like you said, Ohm and Leng, like.
Yeah, I
people
was
still
excited
people
for that
still
pairing.
screaming about Om Nanon, and well, they are so long separated. They don't want to work with each other. We all know that. It's okay, but why keep screaming in their face? And was it Chris that said something when he was with Nanon or with Om, and he said,
It would be Chris, yes.
yeah,
I
yeah,
wouldn't know.
yeah.
Not in a bad way.
No,
Just
no,
that
no.
it was
Yeah.
Chris.
Would be.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Topher was laughing because I was like,
No,
Chris
it
and
was
Anon
just
did
Chris.
do a
Yeah,
concert
yeah.
together.
And then the fans
Mhm.
were screaming, "Oh, Nanon!" And Chris said something about it, and then he got backlash for it because he spoke up about it. Like, stop saying "Om Nanon," stop doing this. It's like I don't understand the nerve people have to be like that, to react like that, to think that you have the control over other people's. But you're destroying their lives. You're supposed to be fans of them. That's not supporting them, that's hurting them. So that's I don't that's some concept that I don't understand.
Mm-hmm. Any ideas from you, Topher? Any thoughts?
No.
Nope.
Yeah, it's echoing some, similar thoughts where it's like I've never experienced fandom from the inside, so I can't speak as to what it's like to be on the inside of a fandom. Like there are things, there are artists, there are series, there are actors that I enjoy, that I love, that I'm a fan of, but like my fandom is kind of localized to me, and like because like I don't have an abundance of like real life friends who are like in my everyday that I can see and touch and like, let's go party, blah blah blah, that I'm like, yes. Every once in a while someone will pop up that was in my circle like, hey, I didn't know you like this. I'm like, I didn't know you like this either. Why didn't I know this when you were living here? Like, but like outside of that, like I don't have a lot of like everyday real life people to interact with. So like my fandom, it's kind of me and my just like sort of close-knit circle of people that I've cultivated and built as my little family here on like my channel and whatnot. And for the most part, I've done a good job at cultivating my little family, so it is not toxic. It's not toxic. There's lots of nipples, but not a lot of toxicity, and we love that for us. So I've not experienced like one of those like true large-scale fandoms from the inside. I've always been an outsider where that fandom has come to visit me. And I can understand the like sense of community. I can understand the sense of finding your people, finding your tribe. Like I remember the first time I went to a Kelly Clarkson concert, I was like, oh, these are my people. Like I don't even have to say anything and they already understand the things I'm thinking. Like, oh, this is wonderful. But like, that sense of community, it's lovely to find that many people who have such a passion about this thing you're passionate about. And sometimes I can understand that maybe those feelings get a little out of control. And I think that's where some of the dark side of the fandoms tends to creep in, when people within the fandom, because I feel like people who are checking the fandom 90% of the time are people outside the fandom, like, hey, can y'all calm down? But it's like people inside the fandom, when people inside the fandom can't talk to other people in the fandom, be like, hey, maybe we chill, maybe we scale this back a little bit, when it becomes like this just echo chamber of yeah, Om Nanon, they're the only thing, Om Nanon, and like you're literally ruining people's lives. Because like aside from them just not wanting to work in the BL industry anymore, or not being able to work in the BL industry anymore because you're ruining every single opportunity that's afforded to them, like just the mental the mental abuse that goes into that when you're telling people, hey, this is not a part of my life anymore, I've moved on. It's like when you break up with somebody, you've broken up, and then your mom or your best friend's like, hey, did you know your ex is still doing it? I don't care what they're doing. I don't care. Why are you giving me a play-by-play of their day-to-day life? We're not together. I don't care. Please stop inserting them into my life. I don't care. And it's like when you keep saying, leave me alone, please, and talk, and then people just keep coming at you, keep coming at you, keep coming at you. It's like, oh my God. Like, and then when you snap, when you finally reach that breaking point, then they're gonna come and attack you and be like, why are you being this way? And they'll look at you like you're crazy. It's like, no, I've said it 7,000 times. You refuse to listen. So sometimes I feel like the toxic fandoms, and again, this is not all fandoms, but when fandoms cross into that sort of toxic category, it's when they lose, well, a touch on reality, but they start to feel like they have more authority. They've got more control over these people's lives than they do. And that's a weird thing. That's especially, like, I'm sure it's not brand new, but like with the world we're living now in parasocial relationships, it gets very easy for people to think that they own you, or to think that they are your best friend and that they are your confidant when you have never seen them or spoken to them. Fandoms can get very toxic sometimes. They can get very intense. And if there's no one inside the fandom to say, hey, maybe let's breathe, maybe let's calm down a little bit, then they just continue to get more and more and more and more intense. Like I said, there's been a number of different fandoms that I've interacted with throughout, whether it's been BL or music and whatnot, where it's like, I enjoy this content, I enjoy this particular artist, I enjoy this, but because of reactions or because of interactions I've had with not all of the fandom, but I've had enough interactions with enough members of particular fandoms where I'm like, I would rather just not. I'd rather just not have this on my channel. I'm good. I'll be okay. Maybe I'll just enjoy this artist in my own time. Maybe I'll just do this in my own time. And yeah, I don't encounter that as much with BL, but also I feel like I said earlier, I've done a good job of cultivating my space to weed out those people. So as soon as I see that start to pop up in my comment sections and whatnot, I really wish YouTube kept the button as block instead of hide user, because like it feels so good when I can just say block. Like hide user makes me feel like, okay, they can still see my channel, they can still interact. I'm like, no, I just want to
I don't exist to you anymore.
Yes. Yeah, so like I've done a good job at like weeding out my space, but they do exist. And I don't know, I've said a number of times, like ship culture for me is, I get it as part of the BL world, especially the Thai BL world, but like coming into the BL world as a performer, as someone who's shared scenes with many a different actor, I can't think of a single show. I've done so many shows, I can't think of a single show where I've had to have the same partner. Like that's just the job. You get in, you do your job, you act, grow, you move on. Sometimes sets of actors come back together if the stars align and they can have that same chemistry, but like it's a job. So like the idea that these people have to be paired together, and then the fans latch on to they have to be paired together, they can do nothing else with no one else. I'm like, oh my God, friends, they're literally just doing their job. They're just doing their job. Please calm down. It's not that deep. Yeah.
Ooh, a lot of juicy points going on today. I really like what you said about cultivating your space, because I always find it funny. I'm in Japan, I'm in a Japanese space, and I just never have anything around me. And then my other like Twitter mutuals will be like, man, Japan is doing this. And I'm like, why don't I even see that? And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to see that. And then Twitter doesn't give it to me because it's like, you don't want this, you know? So I feel like I've cultivated my algorithms in different spaces to that point. And, you know, so there's a lot of stuff I don't see until somebody else has to go mention it, right? Yeah, I would like to say on the control bit, that is something too that the artists originally subscribed to. So I'm not saying these set of artists, but maybe like 2 generations ago, I don't know. Where it, from Japan's perspective, for example, an idol, for example, we think of idols as synonymous with singers. They are not. It is not the same thing. There are singers and there are idols. An idol is supposed to be where a singer just sings, and they can be amazing or they can be not, whatever. Idols are supposed to be the person, and that's why the word is idol, the person you wish you could be with, see, talk to, whatever, right? And in being that, they have to be a little bit of everything, a singer, a dancer, sometimes an actor, whatever, right? And the extension of that too is that they have to be your dream. So they can't have their own lives, right? And this was something that we sold maybe in the 80s, 90s, or whatever, right? We sold this idea that you make up what the idol's life is, right? And I think that we kind of started to move away from that, not fully, but kind of started to move away from that. And people are just used to that, right? That we say this and the idol does this, right? To the point like you couldn't be an idol and be married, right? You would have to leave being an idol. You could still be a celebrity, but you can't be an idol, right? And I think a lot of what we get in BL is like that idol culture, right? Where you can't do certain things and be in BL, which was not originally BL anyhow, right? So you get a lot of pushback, like, why can't they have a girlfriend, right? You can't have a girlfriend and be an idol. That's insane, right? But, you know, it's not true for the entirety of celebrityhood, right? And I think some of those rules might have crossed over. And that's how we got where we get. Now, like, I'm not saying it's right or anything, but that was a dream that the industry sold, right? And so there's a bit of history there that it ended up in that space. Now it went too hard and they're trying to unsell it. So it's a bit of a problem now, you know? Like, I don't think when you sign on to be an idol too, you kind of know this ahead of time, which is different from when you sign on to be an actor, right? You sign up to be an idol, you think this company owns me. Again, good or bad, you can decide, but you come into this thinking this company owns me and this is the view. They said I'm this and we give the world this, and that's what it is. When I want to go have my own life, I will retire and go like buy a restaurant or something, right? That's the dream you signed up for as well. I don't think that's the dream the actors sign up for, and we're imposing the same set of rules onto them. They're like, I want to have friends, because people will get on people's case for friends, not even like romantic relationships. Is at least a little bit understandable, but like you hung out with the same person 3 times.
How dare you? How dare you?
Right? We can't have this.
Right? So,
but I also want to mention for me too, it's like I feel like it's a Western viewpoint. Like when I came into K-pop and BL, it was very much a culture shock to me with this fandom space and what they expected of the idols and the actors. And I think that's also part of the disconnect here is like we were sold the heartthrobs back in like the 90s and like, you know, our old school boy bands and things. We were all supposed to be in love with them and idolize them, but they were allowed to have a life outside of that. It was kind of like, this is their public persona. This is who we fall in love with, but they are over here having their own life that some people want to make it the public's business. Some of us don't really care. So as long as they're what they need to be on stage and in front of the camera, we're good with that. So when I entered like K-pop and found idols and the BL space and these like, and everybody wanted like, you know, you have your ships and these two can only be together. I found it very interesting, I guess, because when I got into BL, nobody I knew was into this, and like I really liked what I was watching, and then I found out that two of the actors that I really liked, they're in all these series together, and I was like, huh, this is a new concept for me. So like I then like you fall into everything, and like I finally found some spaces to talk about this stuff and realize, okay, this is how they create it to be. These two, they're actors, they're together, this is the ship, we sell the ship, and you get to watch all these different series with them and you support your favorite ship, and that's how it is. So for me, like I said, it was a culture shock because I'm just kind of like, I've never seen this before. So
yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. I feel too, like with ships, for example, we think of them as a very BL thing. They're not actually a BL thing. I learned this at a lecture. They're a Thai thing, right? Sorry. And so like it's just very like the only thing that comes close, the only like peer that I'm just, you know, other than like a comic duo or something that just pops up in my mind again. Oh, I don't know if I spent my entire childhood staring at Johnny Depp, but Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter, right? Like you just see this pair and you know this is where this is going, right? And there's something like when you see that specific pair, you're like, oh, you know, like and so they've done this before BL existed. That was a thing that they would do. They would put the same leading man and the same leading lady, and people like, oh, it's them.
Rock Hudson, Doris Day.
Right. Oh, we used to do it back in the 50s, 60s, 70s. Right. We have all of those old like movies that are like, you know, Bollywood has a little bit of everything. Those movies where everybody tap dances, sings, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Kind of. It's not a musical, but there's just everything in this movie.
Yep, Fred and
back
Ginger.
in those, right, Fred and Ginger. Those days. And like we had that too. We a ship sold stuff, right? And with Thailand, like where the drama is not the main income, selling those things is important, right? So I can understand why ships are what they are. My only issue is like, you know, you need to let go of it when it's gone, right? If it's over, it's over. Just, you know, be supportive. You know,
Shaffer, Winnie, and Satong.
Right. I think somebody said something must be going on with Winnie because Satang is still, you know, everything. So, but
nothing's going on with Winnie. He's perfect.
not with him. Like, there's maybe he has some stuff to go deal with and come back. Oh my gosh,
he had nothing to deal with. He's perfect.
He can have family issues. Like, oh my gosh, Topher's being the fandom.
Exactly.
He has no family. He's perfect.
He only has Topher.
It's just me.
It's just Topher.
So yeah, I think that's what happens with the ships. Individual fandom, like my concept of fandom works a little weirder because, like, you know, in Japan we're like this with our fandoms, but we are super supportive. I don't think we do toxicity as often, but we do it in a very wholehearted way when we do. So it's quite different. Another point that was interesting for me that AJ brought up is the international side, because the thing about fandoms in BL, especially us interacting with them in an English-speaking space, so when I interact with my Japanese fandom in Japanese in Japan, we all know the rules, right? We have all we live these rules. This is our life. We know what we're supposed to do. We know what we're not supposed to do, right? When we have an international fandom, we're all coming in with different ideas of what the fandom should be, what the fandom should do, what the rules are for interacting with people in general, what the rules are for life, you know? And so it gets messy automatically in international fandoms because we just all have different ideas of what people should be doing, even us and the actors. So it can be a ride. But again, for me, it's just like, as long as we can, let go of things, or, if we can all get along, right? Mama Mochi mentioned the 227 incident. It was basically, Igbo's fans versus, like they got into a head-on collision on an online platform, and it caused like almost the entire world to collapse in the internet of BL or Dame in China, kind of thing. And it pretty much put, I don't know if it's official or not, put sanctions on them being able to be in the same place at the same time, right?
Mhm.
And that collapsed because of the fandom. That was not the usual government censorship really that pushed that. That was fans that destroyed the thing, right? And has come up because Nanon is happily not working in BL. Nanon, I see Nanon. He's fine.
He's fine.
I am seeing Nanon. He's living his best life. He's on the stage is singing.
Yeah,
he is,
good.
focusing mostly on singing, and just happy to just, pick up a role here or there, kind of thing. But almost trying to stay in BL, and they said no. And I'm like, yeah, stop destroying your people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
All right.
DramaLlama fam, real quick before we get back to the video. If you love BL series, shipping characters, and talking about every wild plot twist, then you should check out the DramaLlama platform. It's a community built specifically for BL fans. So instead of shouting into the void of regular social media, you're surrounded by people who actually get the obsession. On DramaLlama, you can share reactions to the latest episodes, post about your favorite couples, discover new BL series to watch, and join the conversations with fans from all over the world. Whether you're into Thai BL, Korean BL, Japanese BL, Taiwanese BL, Filipino BL, Vietnamese BL, Chinese BL, or you just love a good enemies to lovers storyline, you'll find your people there. It's basically a fandom home base for BL lovers. So if that sounds like your kind of chaos, then click the link in the description and join the DramaLlama community today. Alright, let's get back to the video.
Alright, so let's get into some of the perks of fandoms. Oh, and before we do that, let me check a quick check on the chat. Let's see. So Mad Mix said they'd never found themselves in a fandom and they don't think it's their thing. I like what I like, and I feel no need to do it as a group. Yeah, I think there's fun times for group activities or whatever, but it's fine, if you're not, and you don't have to be one or the other. You can be this one at this time and that at the other. And hi, Faith Love. Sally says fandom can be good if they're just there to show support to the artist. Organizing food trucks, showing up to fan meets to say how much you like their work, etc. That being said, fandoms can pass the boundaries for what is okay, and that is a problem. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Claire says, in a way, I'm pleased I found the Untamed late. I'm happy I wasn't a part of that toxic mess and could just enjoy the story instead. Right. I don't see things in the background, especially, okay, when I watch Untamed, let me put it out there. I watch Untamed live. Okay. Live. Were there English subtitles? No. Did I speak Chinese? I could order a coffee. So I am basically reading, because Chinese shows almost always have the subtitles on them because there's just so many people speaking so many different types of Chinese or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so they have subtitles. So I'm reading the subtitles with my Japanese brain, guessing what is happening for the entire show. So I watched it live, but I didn't have the Chinese level to be in all of the, fan anythings. So I don't know what's going on behind the show. But so I was there, but not there. I don't know what happened. I'm sure there are nice things about being part of a fandom, but the toxic elements make it too off-putting for me. Yeah, I don't know. Does anybody really feel like they want to get into, the nitty-gritty of a fandom? Yeah. You know what? the way I just remember that I am a part of two fandoms. So literally going to a concert on Friday. Oh my gosh, my brain is so bad. I am in XG's fandom, and that's, you know,
Yay, XG.
yeah, so I will see them on Friday. But I don't really interact. I'm just in the fandom, you know,
Yeah.
because I really love XG and I want to support, right? But I don't think there's much anything going on in there. And a super really nice fandom that I'm in is Aussie Purse. So like I'm in his official fandom, and I sometimes see, like, I know the lead, the whatever you call them, the head of the fandom. I know her, and I'll see her, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? You know, kind of. So we have a
Nice.
a really good little community there. So yes, I do interact with two fandoms. I'm on the Discord and everything, and I just, yeah. But yeah, so if the fandom, I feel too, a fandom with a smaller fandom behaves a different way than a massive like BTS or, you know, like
Sometimes. Sometimes.
sometimes. Like it has a predominant vibe, and it doesn't, you know, if the vibe is good, it's good, and that's it, right? So that's Aussie Purse.
I will say this, I do find with sometimes smaller fandoms, and this is coming from a K-pop point of view, the people's importance for like being in the fandom and a fan of a smaller group or a smaller fandom, the importance thing really becomes a toxic thing, because some people really get involved with the, like, oh well, I've won X amount of fan calls, I've spoken to this artist, I've been to the fan meets, they've responded to me on the fan sites, so therefore I'm friends with them. And I think that's something that happens more so in smaller spaces, because it can give that feeling like, well, I know them and they know me, so this is friendship, and it's not the parasocial relationship that it actually is. Like, I don't, because I've seen it happen. I've been in, again, my experiences with the K-pop stuff, I was very much into the ARMY space, and when I got into BTS, and there's like some other less known groups that I was very much in their fan spaces, and I think that's what eventually was just kind of like, I'm going to distance myself, because it's like, it's this race to be the most important person in the fandom, because if you're the most important, then you know the artist, you know the idol, you're friends with them, you get a say in how the fandom acts towards them, and I can't be in those spaces. I can't. I've just, like, as much as I love to, you know, sometimes be a little delulu about stuff, it's like I can't be to that point where it's like, because I'm in the small fandom and they've responded to me or I've met them, they know who I am. Like, no. Do I get excited when I find out an artist has seen my reactions? Of course I do, but I also have that, but I do not exist to them moment.
Oh my gosh, you're just reminding me when Andy Bian responded to my IG post. Oh my gosh!
I have it every time Boy Som Pop comes online, and first thing he says, "Hi, Mama Mochi," and I melt.
Boy, at this point, like, I am like a weird. I feel like I'm Boy's pet. Like, I'm like, we're not on the same level, but if I turn him, he's like, ah!
Yeah, exactly. With me too. Always,
Yeah.
Boy always responds to comments I make. So, but still, there's a healthy distance between us.
Yes.
You know, I
Right.
adore this young man. I love his music, but I don't expect him to know me. I wish we would be friends. Of course, I would love to have him as a friend.
Well,
because I
yeah.
think he's a very interesting person and a lovely person. But still, I separate myself from him. He is the artist. I am his fan. So as much as I adore that he says something back to me, I melt. But then it's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I am so scared sometimes of being too, like, I hope I don't sound like this person. Tell me if I ever sound like this person. Because,
Okay.
you know, AJ mentioned, like, I am more important than you because I've met XYZ, right? And the thing is, like, I live in Japan. We've been over this. It comes up, like, it's come up 40 times this podcast.
You're a celebrity.
You know, just in our interview, you know, we were hanging out in the chat for the premiere of the Chris McCombs interview, and Tober was like, "Yeah, so next time Yummy said she's not a celebrity," you know, and we were just clowning around, but I really worry sometimes, like I sound like that person, like, oh, last week I was talking to Chris, you know, like, it's just like, you know, it is right there. I have, you know, I really have only talked to Chris once, but like I've met him 6 times, you know, it's very different. And I like to share that because I know like there's a lot of stuff people aren't going to, especially outside of Asia. If you're in another Asian country, maybe, but there's a lot of stuff people aren't going to experience, right? I extra as well. And that's one of those things that, like, if you're not in Japan, you're never going to extra in a Japanese BL. You know, it's not high budget. It's not going to be in like,
I knew it.
You know, shooting in New York or whatever. It's just not that, right? And so like, I try to share those experiences in a, you know, like, look, this was fun. I wish you guys could do this. But like, I also am terrified that everybody's like, Yummy's over there like, I am the greatest thing. I have met all these people. I walked with this person. Like, I always joke about, there's like a movie right now that's like, it's broken all the records. It's been in cinemas. It went into cinemas on June 6th. It is still in the cinema. I went to the cinema today. It is still there. And so like, I joke about the fact that the star of this movie, his last movie, I worked with him, right? And I hope nobody is like, oh, Yummy, she thinks she's all that.
We all live through Yummy. Yes.
I just respond to that. Like, yes, we do.
This is what I'm
Yes,
trying
we
to
do.
be, but I'm scared. I'm scared that, you know, it's coming off the wrong way.
No, not at all. Not at all.
And that's
Don't
another
worry.
thing with me. It's just like when I've had, like when I got to go to the Kingdom concert in Toronto and I got to meet my favorite K-pop group and I did the fan sign and I got to talk to each member for a moment. Like I was just, I couldn't shut up about it because finally I got to experience one of the things that I've wanted to since I've got into K-pop and everything. But it's like, I'm just like in a happy space and I just want to be happy about it. And it's not like an importance thing to me. It's just, I got to do the thing. I finally got to do the thing.
Exactly,
and it's just like, and I hope at no point that didn't come off as I got to meet them. So I'm a more important fan because it so isn't. It is never that, but it's just like I say, if you get the chance to meet your idols or your actors that you love, or you get to go to a concert, do it, enjoy yourself, and have the fun and talk about it and tell your friends and people about it, because that's part of the enjoyment. Again, it's one of those, like, there's a line and you just don't cross the line.
Exactly.
Like, you know, and I just I would
don't
love
think that
to
if
be
you
able
can't do it, you're less of a fan.
Well, that's it too. It's like there's a lot of things I won't get to do, people I won't get to meet or see in concert or that kind of thing. I would love to go to some of these band meets and things they put on for the BL actors, but unfortunately they come to the States and I'm not going there right now. So, you know, and so in Canada, especially, I'm like a flight away from like Toronto where everybody goes. Like, even if they did come to Canada, there's a high chance I wouldn't get to experience that. So it's just, again, like I always say, if you're enjoying it, and be a little delulu even if you want to, but when you start thinking that's the reality, that's when it becomes the issue.
And there's a cost to these things, right? You have to, you know, people put the importance on how many they can do or whatever, but there is a financial cost to this. I don't live in Tokyo, so I have to go to Tokyo for things, and that round trip at a minimum is like $100 US, right? So just the startup to anything is 100 US for me. Like one of my mutuals on Twitter was posting just today that she's completely obsessed with the Castle School trip. She was like, she posted 2 magazines. She's like, well, there goes my money again. She does not live in Japan. So it's just like shipping.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for me too. Yeah.
And,
It's
and
too
so like
expensive.
to get on somebody's
Yeah.
case for not being able to spend money,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's not like, you know, like Twitch, for example, you know, you support a creator on Twitch, it's $5 or something.
Mhm.
It's $30 plus $27 in shipping for every single thing. And then you get into the more expensive things, you know, like sticks or whatever, that are over 100, right?
Mhm.
If people don't have that, they don't have that.
No.
It's, you know, you can't really, no, we're not all in the same position. And in Japan, for example, we have a horrible tendency of just, they put the, whatever the thing is with like a lottery chance or something. So if you have like the buy the DVD, it has a lottery chance to go to the signing event or something, and people will just buy 17 DVDs. Like my friend that owns a Boom Prime Cafe, she has CDs from her early era of K-pop when she just bought 45 CDs to get a chance at a ticket or something, right? And they're just stacked in her house according to her, you know, like so everybody is not in that space, right? If you're in that space, great for you.
Enjoy it.
I love it for you.
Yeah, exactly.
I met Boone last week. Not Boom, sorry, Topher. Boone.
I mean,
Boone.
you can meet any of them you want. I'm not meeting any of them. So.
I met Boone last month because like I applied for this ticket. I failed, but this lady got like 8 tickets. So we bought them off her, right? That, you know, if she got it like that, if she can buy 8 tickets and choose to give her friends 3 and then meet Boone 5 times, fine. That's her. I'm not buying 5 tickets to Boone, but you know, if she wants to do it, fine. Right. So I don't think we need to be getting on people's case for especially for financial things. If it's a free thing, you know, like if it's share this artist thing or whatever, it's different, right? Again, it's the way you say things, but you know, like for financial things, everybody does not have it the same, right?
Yeah. And considering where I am, everything usually costs me more in shipping than actually buying the thing. Like my K-pop collection behind me was not cheap, but like, again, I don't buy a lot of things anymore right now because I don't have the cash to get it. So it's like when I was able to, I did. Now that I can't, I don't. And I don't feel like less of a fan. And I'm sad that somebody would make somebody else feel like less of a fan because they don't have money.
It's funny too that we're in the era where you can be a $0 fan, right? And do so many things for your artist. You can be vocal online, you can share stuff, you
stream
can post
music,
pictures, stream
yeah.
music. You know, there's a zillion things you can do now to help somebody without spending a cent, right? Like you guys all have YouTube channels. There are people out there that will just share the hell out of your content. There's people out there always commenting. This is how I know Warren. Commenting
I was just gonna say.
Warren, commenting on Topher's videos together. And now we're friends. Right? So we're currently DramaLlama's Asian connection. We're the only 2 in Asia. But like we met in Topher's comment section, right? So there's a million ways to support somebody now. I don't think we should be fighting over how much money somebody else has spent, right? I'm a fight with my wallet over accidentally jumping into Journey into Killing You's DVD. Like, how did you? I didn't spend that. Where did that? You know, I didn't choose that. My wallet did that myself, right? I can fight with my own wallet, but like, I don't know. I don't know why we need to be doing this, right?
Yeah, and I also want to mention, it's just like there is the thing that with the online space, it's like you can share things, you can vote for stuff, but when that becomes like a necessity, like you have to be online for this and you have to watch that so many times and you have to, I'm just like, I have a life, I have a family. I was very much into some of these spaces, voting and sharing and doing all the fan stuff. I don't have the time for that right now. I am sorry. I will support groups how I can. And I just I wish people would let that go. If you've got the capacity to go be online for 12 hours voting for something, then do that. I love that for you. And I've been there, like, being able to do that. But again, not less of a fan because you can't spend the time either, because time and money are both resources that some of us don't have.
I think too, like if we could suggest things instead of commanding them, right? Like, let's get this to 1 million streams. That's fine. I will go stream it one time, even if I don't like it. They're like, I don't know the person, but like, they haven't done anything bad and I don't hate them. I'll just go stream it one time, right?
Or here's the for the international fans, here's the steps for you to go vote for these artists. If you have a minute, can you go do the thing? I'm like, give me instructions and I can just go click a few things, do a couple things. No. I'm good. I will help. But like some of the spaces I've been in, they are so curated for that specific country. And there's no English translation. There's no one to help me out. And I'm like, I would love to vote for such and such a group or such and such an actor, but it's not in my capacity.
I have that with Nont and Jeff. It's so hard to vote for them because everything is in Thai. Sometimes you get it in English, but then you have to buy stuff or get points. I don't understand the hell out of these apps. I can't get anything done, so I just give up. Like, make it easier for us international fans because we want to vote too, but I don't know how. It's not made for us. So
okay, I'm going to take us back to the comments for a second. Unico is finally catching the podcast in real time. Hey, Unico, welcome aboard. Sally says Topher is me with fandom. Such basically putting to words what Sally is feeling about fandoms. Let's see. Mad Mix said hard to unring that bell. I think this is talking about how we set that up from our industry side to make them love the idols. But I hope they succeed in establishing more of a healthy distance between the artists and the fans. The distance is like, it can go both ways because we have that craziness, but also I took a picture with Boone last month. Have I ever taken a picture with Will Smith? No. Like, it's just not a thing you do. Like, you can list the artists, like maybe on one hand that people have taken pictures with at a picture taking event, not like, oh my gosh, I ran into Tommy Lee Jones in a pancake house and we took a picture. It's not, we just don't do that, right? So the space is great in some places, but then people go the wrong direction with it. Claire says a lot of British films in the 70s and 80s had what would today be called a ship. So the old era of TV, Fred and Ginger, Sabrina Harvey, everybody, there were ships. There were tons of ships. Sally, I personally enjoy seeing certain actors together on screen. So I do my own version of shipping where if I like an actor A with actor B, I would like them to do more things in the future. Case in point, Peter Pan and Pond. That being said, I am completely okay with these actors having different co-stars. And I need more people, toxic people, that should be okay with this. Right. So, I am not a ship person. No, I don't know if any of you are ship people, but for me, I appreciate it. Agent definitely has this one ship in mind. Like, what
I feel like I'm in my own headspace with the ship thing. Like, I don't buy into the ship culture, so to speak. I just kind of I like these actors together. Yes, all the things. Off gun.
Yes, I agree. I agree with that. Yeah,
that is kind of they're one of the first ships that I fell into in the Thai realm of things, and I just like there's something special about them for me because I really fell into them. So it's just like, but am I gonna be like devastated if they don't work together anymore? Also, no, because I want them to be able to do what they want and act
and grow.
But I am very much an off-gun person.
I understand that. Yeah,
I don't absolutely need a ship, but I will buy ship merch or whatever. I pretty much live at a Boom Prem cafe, so I am it's weird to say reluctant Boom Prem Prem fan, but like I just ended up in this world because drive 15 minutes to the south and there's a Boom Prem cafe. Like, how can I not go? Like, it's there, right? And then I get to talk BL in real life every week, you know.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't have that, right? And I eat
we
Thai
don't have
food
that.
every week.
Oh.
So you have a
I don't
Thai
even have
friend
K-pop
cooking
people
for you.
around me. I don't even have K-pop people
I was gonna
around me.
Right?
I live in
It's-
Florida.
Oh no. So yeah, so I get that, you know, like I get how it sells stuff, but I don't need to be it, right? And I don't think like if I see actors with different people or whatever, yeah, like it I've said this before that like almost every ship there's one person I like better in the ship. Considering who I took pictures with last month, you can tell who it is in Boom Prem. But like there's always one person who I love better. And the only ship that isn't like that is Chris and Singto because I know them separately as Chris and Singto, and I love them separately and then they got back together, right? But like I don't feel that they always have to be together. Right.
No.
I sometimes pray that some BL ships, Thai BL ships, just part their ways and find somebody else because they stuck. They don't grow. It's always the same. Like
all the time.
maybe like fourth book. I will not say anything.
The solution to that is they just need to take my advice and turn them into throubles. Like if they turn them into, they need to inject a third.
Yes.
I vote for throubles.
They have to.
Because all God just did a almost not throuple,
but I loved it. I loved it. With the tall
yes,
guy.
do.
Drew's my baby.
He is adorable.
He's way too young, but he's my baby. He's my baby.
Yeah. But that made it so good. The tension between the three of them. We need that. Yeah. But some ships been together too long and they stop growing. And stuck in university.
And they play the same
they're
role.
Grown-ups. Come on. Yes. Be now something else.
That's what I loved about Gawain and Pod before they like got officially shipped up with Pepang and Joss, because like they were free agents just roaming.
Do you guys like we talk about first Kowtow a lot now, but you remember first was everywhere.
First was everywhere. Yes.
Like people now that he's with Kowtow, we forget, but that man, he done kissed everybody.
Yeah, he kissed everybody.
There's not a single person in GMTV that they have
First and Gowan. First and Gowan.
Right? First and Gowan were together too.
Yes.
Everybody. First been everywhere.
Like don't get me wrong. Like I know there's money in the shipping, and I'm all for like if the two BL actors are in a pairing together, like you put them in a series, you sell the ship as part of the series, that I'm okay with. Let's do that, because I would love to be buying merch and different things from that if I could afford it right now. But when it extends beyond that, that is my issue.
Yeah, I actually don't mind like a couple of series, but like This Is the Forever is not necessarily the jam, because again, like you do get stuck in not even just one show like University or anything. You get stuck in an archetype, right? So we do have semi-uke kind of, coming out of Japan, what you would call top and bottom, a certain type of top, a certain type of bottom, whatever. Like semi-uke as a wide thing is fine, but like when you have the exact same, this is the commandeering boss or commandeering senior, or they all get into that role, and then the uke is always like the happy-go-lucky, whatever, every single time, and that can be I feel like a problem for ships. Like I feel like it doesn't happen with, for example, Off Gun, because Gun is versatile as hell, and they're gonna give Gun every role that they can find. And so his pairs, like look at something like Not Me versus Cooking Crush. Like how is that the same pair? Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So
but I'm pretty sure I said this before. I don't know if it was on one of our podcasts or on my streams. but it's just like I need them, even if they don't break up pairings and we don't get different people paired with like outside their ship. I need you guys to give these guys different roles. I can't have this part of the ship is always, you know, this type of character, and the other one is always this type of character, because I feel like we're watching the same thing in a different setting. There's no growth there. There's like, it gets boring for me. Like there are certain series I just can't bring myself to watch because the characters are always the same. And it doesn't say anything about their acting. They can only do what they're given, what's written for them. And it's just like, but if there are, especially with GMM TV, I find there's a few of their ships that this one's always this one's always that, and we cannot step outside of that, and we'll just give them endless settings for it. I'm just like, please let them do something else. Please take them outside of this.
Exactly.
Yeah, and the other thing I had about the ship is that, like, if we do have that third, we always know it's not going to happen. But I mean, that's a general Asia problem, because second lead syndrome, right? We always know the second lead is not going to win. And the second lead is always a better person. You're like, that man is so horrible. Why would you choose him? This dude is perfect. Right? So, you know, that's the thing with the ship. You know, we had the chance with the original Only Friends of bringing true chaos. Because there were some possibilities.
I was so hopeful. Like the second home wrecker mom.
I haven't seen it. The new one.
I haven't seen the new one either. But the first one,
I haven't started that.
Is it good or not?
It's like they could have, you know, we had 6 people. Anything could happen. And we chose the ending we got. Spoiler for anybody who hasn't seen the original Only Friends. The ending they went with was to keep the 2 original ships together, and the one ship that was only in that series break apart, right? And some of it fits the story, but we could have gone any way that we wanted to. Right, but they were just like, nope, not muddying them waters.
You had Maud in there ready to wreck homes, and you did not let him wreck a single home.
He was trying to wreck
I have a home. He can come wreck. Okay.
Yeah,
Maud, me in
like
here,
doing anything with the chaos that was Boston.
Boston, exactly.
As much as I love the chaos that Only Friends was, it could have been so much messier. It could have been so much more.
And the thing is, like, apart from the ending, they did pull punches, because we saw, like, I follow Den, so he writes, he does everything. But in this series, he was writing, right? He does acting coaching and all that kind of stuff for Kemjira and other shows. But in this series, he was writing. And so people started complaining or whatever, and he was publishing that they were doing, you know, they were changing things, and they had to do this at this time because it was shot, but they had to reshoot. And, you know, like, I'm like, why are we pulling the punches? Just let the people be angry a little bit. Right. I think a lot of what happens with GMM and stuff is just like, they don't want anybody to be mad. And so we end up like in this space where we could have had, like, I don't know, flambe, but we get like saltwater soup, you know, because we took out all the everything, and we're just like, this is what's left that nobody's going to be mad at. Nobody gonna like it, but nobody's gonna be mad at it.
Can we go back into a space where we're recording, like we're shooting everything and we're editing and we're wrapping up the whole series before it starts airing, so the fans can't mess with it? And that's another thing and that, like, I don't care if you don't like where this is going, just watch it or not. I do enjoy a good toxic pairing, like in a series. I love a good toxic character if I know that's what I'm getting. And I've had this discussion before. If you sell me sunshines and rainbows in the trailer, and then we have like toxic people all around, then I'm going to be like, no, thank you. But you sell me the toxicity, like in the trailer, I'm like, yes, we are going to watch this, and for the mess that it's going to be. So again, it's like, I need less control from the fans and the people complaining, and just let the series be what it is. Let the actors
You know,
do
that's
what
why
they're
Not Me
doing.
was so good though, because
It flew under the
It's
radar.
still one of my faves.
right, nobody was watching it in Thailand, so it got to be what it was.
Because
Right?
that was like the same
More
time
of
Can you
that.
imagine the
was airing or
ending
something.
if the fans got involved and Not Me? Like he probably would be ending up married to the politician or something.
Oh
like,
yeah, like
I still say justice for Todd and Black. They deserve each
Todd
other.
and Black I could get, but
I was
like,
upset that did not materialize into something.
oh
No,
my
it's just the
goodness.
best BL. Oh,
yeah.
love
Okay.
Not Me.
Yeah, let me get back to the chat. We have
We
We
pivoted
are just
hard.
off on our own tangents here.
but it's good though. We're talking about fandom. So hi Annalise. I don't know if you're still here, Sava. And let's see. Mad Mix says hearing about the consumption with a stack of the same thing is making my eyes twitch. Yeah, there's a lot. Unico talking about helping out with the free side of fandom, right? Watching ads every day to collect for voting, I guess. Join teams on Twitter. They're very helpful. Follow them because they have tutorials and they let you know when and how to vote. Taking selfies with celebs has replaced autograph collecting. I had not thought about that, but yes, that is kind of like nobody asked. We had the event we had last month with GMMTV. So GMMTV, this is probably their second biggest event. They have Laugh Out Loud in Thailand with like pretty much all the couples, and they have FanFest in Japan. FanFest has had up to 9 couples. This year we had 7. And it's hilarious because they don't get him an MC, and it's always Chris. Chris has been here every time. Nobody else has been at all 4, and Chris wrangles cats because he's trying to like pull everybody back in. What are you doing? What are you doing over there for, Chris? But anyhow, when we get these big events, one, you can get pictures with them, but you can also pay to get a signature. And like nobody would like, you can always get the signatures because nobody's trying to get the signatures, right? You getting a photograph it's just like, whew, because everybody wants those now. So yes, it very much has replaced that, right? I have no signatures. All the pictures that I have, I don't think I have any. I do have a signed copy of like Artist Fest where all the artists just signed it because that was my tier, right? But I've never done the signing. So, Unico, I've been a shipper in fandom since before the turn of the century. That makes us so old. Like, you know what? When I heard turn of the century, I immediately thought 1900 for a second.
Like, you look great, Unico. You look great.
You look great for 126. So we're all here from before the turn of the century. That just sounds so old.
Back in my day.
Exactly, back in my day.
Claire enjoyed Gun and Ju's energy during the reactions to Burnout. They have chemistry. I feel like chemistry is like there's some people that could build it forever and they just don't. And there's some people that are just, we should explore this more. Just explore this more. Shoma from Japan. Chemistry to everybody.
Well, I agree.
Topher needs to explore some chemistry.
I'm trying to explore some Shoma. Yes, I'm trying. Japan won't hire me. Let me use your connections.
My connections. Oh, I have to check. You guys remind me. I have to check for. There's an extra thing on Tuesday, so fingers crossed. Let's see. Sally talks about accessibility with voting and such. Tried to buy a ticket for a live stream for liking and couldn't figure out how to purchase, right? And I feel like live streaming is such a wasted, like, if you put live streaming there is no reason for it not to be international. It's not like you have to go put the data in a separate box in a float it over to a different continent. It's there. It's so easy, right? So yeah, Gunn has chemistry with everyone. I would like to see him with someone else for a change. I love Off. I have a thing for Off's mouth, but he has a unique mouth.
And we love the unique mouth in this house.
Right. But yeah, Gunn is an amazing actor.
Yes, he
right.
is.
Gunn is top tier. Like for me, in GMMTV, it's Gunn and Anon. Right, they can do anything. You know how you know that they're good. GMMTV will let them play twins. If you will let somebody play two different people in the same show,
yes, true.
First, I thought you were saying they played each other's twins. That universe. I guess fraternal. Yes, no.
That could be an interesting concept.
Play twins. It was back in the day when they wouldn't let twins play twins. I was like, y'all have twins right there. But I mean, I guess Gunn and Anon are good. So, let's see. Mad Mix is always here for shaking things up. Vina says, off do Gunn. Yes. I don't know what it was about. It was quite a while ago, but Sadia said, preach, Mama Mochi. I don't know. Oh, Neo. Oh my gosh. Claire said Neo is grossly underused.
Yes.
Neo is the first person I took a picture with, Neo Mark from OnlyFriends. They don't exist anymore, but that's the first picture I ever took. It's probably my profile picture on somewhere. But yeah, that was my Neo. Sorry, I had a Neo phase. Ooh. First guy.
When did you grow out of it?
Apparently not.
Have you seen him lately?
He just said Neo, and I'm like, I literally said. Literally start sweating. Okay. I do wish we had more Frisco in, right?
Yes.
Oh, Sadia said, I have this problem with Ross and Gawain. I like them behind the scenes, but they don't actually really work on screen for me. Maybe our favorite toxic red flag BL will change that though. We will see. We
can hope.
So, guys, what are the positives of fandoms? What are some positives that you see? I like interacting with people because, again, I'm in Japan, so it's a little less for me. But BL is kind of a lonely world. It's not like, when I lived in my last city, I used to go to soccer and like everybody loves soccer and everybody can talk about soccer. And, you go to a place right there every week, and there's soccer. But BL is like, there's not a place you can go to just said I go to the Boom Brown Cafe every week.
I was going to say.
But for normal,
but like
before
me,
there was a Boom Brown Cafe.
For me, there is nothing here.
Same. Like, people don't even know what BL is. Like,
right?
I just
can't go anywhere. You don't know anybody. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm doing my work with DramaLlama, it's just like I tell people the name of it and I'm just kind of like, it's a thing that I do. Like, they're not gonna understand. It's like all them Asian series I watch. Well, we're starting a community for the fans of that. Like, it's good. We're good.
Same. Like, literally people see the tattoo on my thigh and I'm like, it's a thing. It's a thing. I don't feel like explaining the full.
It's a space I exist in.
It's a space I do. It's a company I work for. It's a thing.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm the opposite. I just try to get my neighbors involved. Every Friday, I'm with one of my neighbors. I've started already with Until We Meet Again, and between us, we just ended last night. So I'm pulling her in to the BL, and she loves Boone. She's so much and she's over 60, this beautiful lady. So she's like, what's happening? I want more. So now I'm gonna spam her with a lot of trailers. So we have a lot of things to explore, and I will bring her in and maybe other people, because I need my BL community. It's so lonely here, In the Netherlands, there's nothing. No Nontanon, no Jeff Sutter, no BL, no BTS, no nothing. So I have to create it myself. or even
Mhm.
Chinese dramas. I am so into Chinese dramas right now, and Chinese OSTs are so good. So now I'm twitching Chinese dramas on my Twitch every Sunday morning. So it's like I want a community with all of them together because I need it. There's not so I'm so happy that I have DramaLlama. At least with you, I have a little community, but it's not here. I want it here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so starting your BL journey with until we meet again is something. Something.
Yeah.
That was one of the ones I fell into early on as well.
That was my
trip.
first. That was like,
Oh my God.
like my first tie. Like my first tie.
Oh no! I just
But
saw my
also,
first time filmed with no English subtitles, and that was a trip. I didn't even realize it was anywhere near BL till like my 7th watch. I was like, hey,
Yeah.
because my Japanese, oh my gosh, we don't act like that. That's perfectly straight in Japan. So I was like, the Japanese in me was like, Westerner went, this is kind of. And then Japanese went, no, they're just good friends.
They're just roommates.
Right.
Right? Soulmates. Oh my god.
No, just seeing Malamel, it's like saying the way I talk my husband's ear off with BL chatting. Same. I talk about my BL stuff. My husband talks about his anime stuff, and like I've even like started introducing my husband to the BL series that I really like. We've watched a couple of them together, and it's just, I need to bring more people in. I'm always going into like with the ones with K-pop beat. I'm like, here's a BL. You guys really, really need to watch this. And sometimes they will, sometimes they will. I need more people to talk to this
Exactly.
about.
That's
and like
what
me
we
and
need.
Tanya have watched some series together as well. Like we used to meet up sometimes like once or twice a week and watch stuff like offline and like without reacting to anything. And it's just like I need more of that. So and also
go ahead.
Sorry. And building off of that, it's like, and fandoms have like been a good space for me when I was kind of in, I guess, like niche areas of them, because I wasn't always in like the really big, broader fandom online, but like I would meet people through like reactor communities and stuff. It's how I met Tanya and Bucky and Eloise, and we started K-pop Beat. Eloise was only with us for a very, very short time, like one video or something, but it was the 4 of us in different parts of the world. We met because we were all BTS Army, and we met on somebody else's reaction space. And then we decided to do that ourselves and kind of dive into K-pop, and it's eventually turned in like that's how we fell into SB19. And like I was showing them we were getting to Jeff Satter. I don't know if it was me that showed them that or what, but we just kind of fell into those spaces. And it's just so it has like that's how I met like my best friends and things. So it can be a very positive space if you meet the right people. So
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel like we all kind of grew up. This sounds old. Before the internet.
I'm not grown yet.
No, not totally.
I'm still
Like
growing.
we are from an age where TV was
still young.
Right? TV was super communal. Like you would watch TV, you and your friends would all watch the same show every night.
Yeah.
And then you would go to school or work
and
or whatever
talk about
and
it. Yeah.
talk about that show, right?
Or
And
MTV
so, like,
music videos.
our idea of TV is very communal to start with. We were raised like that, right?
Yeah.
And then we get to this space where we're on the internet. First of all, we're not all watching the same thing. But even if we are, to find those people, so having communities, DramaLllamas with a Z, right? Having those communities, that ability to just find your people, right? Because like I'm on Twitter and stuff as well, and I'm pretty active on Twitter. And, a lot of people lately, I don't even know what happened, but people like I do nothing and there's like 78 likes. I'm like, what happened? I don't know what happened in the last 2 weeks. But
they saw your latest film.
Oh dear Lord.
That's it.
But yeah, like it's just difficult, like when you're on a mainstream space sometimes, even to find the little wormholes that you want to find. right? It's just difficult, right? So it's good when we can have that, have your space where you can talk, as long as it's not, toxic or whatever, you can really talk about your show, or talk about your actor or whatever, really support. So I do like that about fandoms, when we can really talk and we can really support, and we could just get into things like, sometimes when you really love a show, you go super deep on it and you will be like, and it's also like sometimes it'll be that kind of obscure show. I remember being in Japan as a mild anime fan is horrible. You either need to go full turkey. Wait, no.
Full turkey. White and dark meat, yes.
You need to go all the way or nothing, right? I went to an anime meetup once and I was like, people were like, what's your favorite anime? And I said something generic, like, I don't know, Bleach or Naruto or something. And everybody else was like, that one time my sofa ate my pig. And I'm like, how is that an anime? Like, all of the names were just like, right. I had never heard of nothing, right? I'm like, I am not deep enough for this world.
Why is that so many BL series, though? Why is that the title of so many BL series?
Oh, the discussions me and my husband about the names of the BL series and the names of the animes. Like, we're always comparing who's got the most ridiculous names.
Oh, short Japanese BL series win. By miles, because the one that I just started watching is called what? Oh dear Lord, I'm going to look for it while we talk.
Yeah, the Japanese ones have some interesting names to say.
But it's the shorts, though. The shorts, like, their names are too long to fit in the screen. You're like, you have to go search their name because you can't see it in your phone. I'm like, dang, what is this name? So it's just out here wilding. The names are crazy. Yeah. So.
But
time jumping before my life is eaten by my little brother, the genius writer Natsuki Hikaru. That's the name.
Wow.
Time jumping before my life is eaten by my little brother, the genius writer Natsuki Hikaru. All of that. And I was like, what? Well, yeah, it's if you're gonna fall into these strange little wormholes, it's good that you can have people that you can be, just talk about your things with, right? And make your jokes with, because sometimes you'll see something, you're like, everybody that has watched Word of Honor would enjoy that. Or you would see like something, you take a picture of it, is like, oh, this friend that knows this would enjoy that, right? I just the other day when I went to the GMM fan fest, it was right next to where Punk's Triangle filmed their final scene, and I know that is where that is. So I was like, I'm going to go take pictures, and I'm going to go send it to like one of my girls who just absolutely loves Punk's Triangle, because that's the community. Like, I didn't need to go there. I could go there whenever. It's right there, right? But I know that she loves it, and she can't come here now. So, that kind of thing. So I think that's a good point of community. How do you think fandoms can be supportive? So while y'all think on that, let me go get some more comments. How can fandoms be supportive? Let's see. Vina said, Aran picking Perf's character on me and T drove me up a wall. Same with Joe not going into the light. Joe, which Joe is it? Standing? Not going into the light.
Girl,
oh, no, you mean just choosing Ming in general?
Don't get me started on Joe. Don't get me started on that.
Don't get me started on that series. I never finished that one. I did not watch.
We're here to talk about fandoms. Don't get me started on this.
Mech is my shining star for this series. Like, I just ignore it. I'm like, let me watch Mech.
We're gonna have to start having podcasts for like certain series where we just discuss all our things that we don't want to see happen again.
I enjoyed my standing. It was not like
Yes.
See, this is because I don't fangirl, because I was not like I need them together. Right? I can enjoy a series without needing them together, because I do not need them together. I did not need them together. But the series was interesting, but I did not need them together. So
Yeah.
I mean, it did give us Detective Dick Datcher and his anal investigation squad. So it does make me excited. What you mean he sneezed and girl? No. That's neither here nor there. We're here to talk about fandoms.
Oh my God. I forgot about the sneezing.
Yes.
Oh no.
No one else sneezes like this. You must be Joe.
The sneeze. Oh. Let's see. Neo's crew cut in OnlyFriends 2 is hot. It is hot. And Justice Vermont. This is Topher. This is Topher's secret account. Let's see. It says, I don't have a problem with toxic series or relationships, but most of the time I hope the characters don't end up together. Let's see if GMMTV is brave to do so. I don't know. Have we had a ship, not a one-off couple, a ship not end up together in GMM? I can't think of any. I can't think of a single time a ship doesn't end up together.
No, they always like to do the episode 11 curse where some major thing happens and they break up and there's a whole thing. But then we get to the last episode 2 years later and they meet up again and everything's fine.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Nothing's coming to mind.
So I feel like there have been a couple occasions where there was, somebody that didn't end up together, but it wasn't a ship. It wasn't a main couple or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, saltwater soup. I am let's see, Mad Mix. Real life people do get stuck in bad relationships, but if the toxic couple are going to be endgame, then I need the writing of the characters to be good enough that it makes a twisted kind of sense. Yeah, I don't mind toxicity at all. I'm not the sort of person ooh, toxic, but I also don't mind it. And I'm fine with it. But I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of stuff just to have the thing for the thing's sake, right? Things need to make sense. Yeah. Mala Mill, there'd be so many things I'd pay to see via live stream. I feel like people aren't using, even Thailand in a way isn't using the international community to the fullest. Right now we're talking about fandoms. If we look at international fandom, I feel like Thailand and the Philippines are the only places that engage with international fandom. Okay. Outside of Asia, because Thailand will fleece Japan of all of its money happily, right? And Taiwan will do fan meetings here. But on a big, whole world kind of thing, I feel like international communities are kind of ignored, and even Thailand doesn't go for the fullest thing, right? So they're here are the things we already had, and sometimes we will give you a version that you can have, right? You can buy the goods, right? We don't stop you from buying the goods. We've made an English website, but how much people would pay if you had a monthly service where you paid $1 and they put a favorite ship on there with an English translator, as a IG live or something. People would pay $1. Millions of people might pay $1.
And we're going to stop talking about that because future ideas for DramaLlama. People stealing the ideas. He's giving me this idea. Copyright patent pending.
Giving our ideas to other people. Oh, yeah. So there are a lot of things that we could have,
but there's so many things that they could do to make money off international fans, to make it easier for us and to be able to be more in a fan space. Because I always feel like even when I get involved in fandoms and things, I always feel like I'm somewhat on the outside, whether it's to do with my age or where I'm from. It's just I feel like I can't fully immerse myself because I'm always online. That's the extent of it.
You brought up another good point. Age in fandom. How do you guys feel with age in fandom? So my perspective is a little different because I am from the OG, right? We have the biggest BL industry, and it is funny to me because if you say biggest BL industry, most international people will say Thailand because people only think of screen, right? But it goes deep here because like literally they said we're going to make the biggest BL event ever, this one page, and it did not occur to me at all that this would be a manga centric event because my brain was like BL, like live, live action stuff, and that I was like, oh, when they got into it, right? But like I feel because we have the depth of time, this has been a thing since the 70s, right? The age is not a thing here. And also like in Japan, age means seniority, so we don't like rag on the older people. So I literally, my first BL event ever was Chris, and not even BL event, it's BL related, Chris solo concert in April 2023. And I went to this event and literally I sat down and the entire row, like the average of this age of this row was 58. I was like, how am I so young? because these are the OG BL fans because it's Sodas, right? So it's early days. So these are the people that came over from, I grew up on BL manga, in the 70s, people. I was like, dang. I went to the Fan Fest with the Boom Prem lady and her mom. She's older than me and her mom. So I was like, we like just walking along with this 70-year-old. I'm like, so it's not a thing for us, but I see that it can be a thing. So how do you guys feel about age in BL fandoms?
I have no thought about that. It's okay. If you enjoy it, you enjoy it. What does have age to do with it? I don't know. I don't
know. I've been caught up in the trap where I feel too old, whether it's for BL spaces or K-pop spaces. I've been made to feel that I don't belong because of my age. A lot of people don't realize how old I am sometimes. But when it's just like they'll talk about like, oh well, these older fans, and I'm like, I am one of those older fans. Please stop. So, and my experience with stuff has been that I have been in the older group. I wish that it was different internationally, like, because sometimes I feel like I'm having to defend why I love the BL stuff and why I'm into this space, and and it's just, it gets ridiculous sometimes, which is why I did move away from a lot of the online spaces like Twitter and stuff, and I just stick with the communities that I'm in outside of that because I feel more welcomed there. So but on the flip side, I do feel like some of the really young fans also get the same thing. Well, you're too young for this. You never mind. You're not spending money. You don't get like it goes both ways. But I do find once you hit a certain age, like a lot of people are just like, well, why are you here? And I'm just like, yeah, you wait till you get older and you're told you can't be in a space because you're older, and then we can talk.
Sometimes when you add the things up, it just doesn't make sense. It's like you want more money for your people,
right?
You know who has more money? Older people.
Grown people with jobs.
Right. I mean, not this particular set of older people, maybe. But
exactly.
But in general, right? Like you would think these people are good for your actor or your Oshi, your idol's economy, right? Why are we having these controversies, right? Topher, our youngin, how do you feel about age?
Well, once I get to a certain age, I'll have more insight. But like age and fandom, like it doesn't bother me. The only thing that I guess maybe sometimes I might feel out of place is, especially I guess in the BL space, is like I don't see a lot of things that I can relate to at my current age on the screen that I'm watching.
Yeah,
So like
sure.
whenever I'm giving my opinions and whatnot, I'm giving it as someone who has lived life and has passed that point in life. And this is how I feel in this moment, where, you know, if it's a younger fan who might be watching the reaction, whatnot, might be living that particular emotion in real time, might have a different experience than I have. So that's really, I guess, a disconnect that I feel, but I don't think that there should be any like gatekeeping on ages and fandom. Like, if you like something, you like something. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Like,
right.
hey.
Unless it's not like weird or creepy or illegal,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it's fine. But yeah, so what you said about, you know, having older tourists already universities.
Same.
Very much that.
Yes.
I expected him to say it, and I was shocked he didn't. Right?
Well, they're fine. But that kind of goes underneath that umbrella of what I said, where it's like, I don't relate to this because I'm not in university. One of my coworkers gently, accidentally reminded me earlier in the week that, oh, this year is my 20th high school reunion, or it's I've been out of high school for 20 years. I'm like,
yeah.
So I don't relate to the university setting, because when I was in university, I wasn't doing any of this. I did not live on campus because I
Me either.
don't like people. I commuted. I stayed at home and I commuted. I went to class. I did my thing. I went home. Like I didn't have these experiences.
I had my apartment and commuted across the city. I was not in that dorm life.
Yeah, so it's like I didn't have these experiences.
Art school, though, just
them.
take the bus to art school and home and bus and home.
I commuted as well, but I was on like the student council type thing, so I was everywhere. I was
still everywhere.
I was perfect 10-liners kind of person, right? So I was everywhere in everything. Oh my gosh! So yes, that was my.
You haven't changed. You haven't changed.
No, I am everywhere.
So I don't hate university. I just, you know, sometimes I would like to see these 38-year-old actors maybe playing adults.
Exactly.
We have a new Japanese BL next week with 38-year-olds.
I know.
They're 38.
Yeah.
It's like maybe
one of the actors, they just announced it yesterday, is Takeda Kohei from Old Fashioned Cupcake. He plays the older guy. So you might enjoy that.
I will. Is it going to be released internationally, or is this an Japan exclusive?
Yeah, that is a good question, because I need to watch this.
Where I wait around for 8 years for season 3.
Right? Like, Japan looks at those types of shows and it assumes the West does not want them. And but we will see. We will see. Okay. So what are some ways fandoms can be supportive? As I go back into the chat. They would make so much money easily if they could make things more friendly for international fans. Topher would buy the Chris Wu photo book himself if he could, said Unico. And they can organize really well and raise a lot of money for donations.
But I'm thankful that I have Yemi who is going to buy it for me. So appreciate you, Yemi.
Annalise, ça va et toi? Moi aussi, ça va bien. They can affect politics as well.
Maybe politics.
Fandoms? Let's see. MH says, I've made friends because of fandom, and I guess I pushed myself to communicate more. Yeah, I do have a couple friends in the Twitter space. Again, like I met Boom Prem Cafe Lady at Boone's event. So, you know, there's spaces, right? First Thai BL for Star was Star in My Mind with June Dunk. Oh, that's an interesting place to start.
That is a very interesting
What are it?
And you stayed? No. I've not watched it.
That's the only one I like from them.
Okay. Really? It's not bad. I'm a bigger fan of the other one in that series with Meg. So I'm very biased towards Meg. If history tells us anything, it's that everyone is roommates. This is true. Let's see. Oh, Star says my family has no idea I watch BLs. They know I watch Asian dramas, but they don't know about the BL part. I don't know. Like Barbados is weird for me because not weird for me, weird. um, because we have a very strange relationship with gayness. The entire Caribbean thinks we're the gayest of the lot. And somehow we're still like supremely like, gay. And it's been it's an open secret. Like nobody can prove it, but it's an open secret that our prime minister is a lesbian. So it's just all over the road. It's just like, so, but also, all of that. So yeah. Mala Mill says BL has brought a lot of friends. I guess if you're here too, I feel like you have a good set of BL friends just from hanging out in comment sections on Twitch.
Yeah.
Right? Like there are people like there. You know what's weird with the internet? Just like not knowing somebody's gender presentation, right? Because obviously if you see somebody, you can be like, they present as a female, right? Even if they don't feel like a female, they present as a female. And you have a certain image in your brain or whatever. And you just have so many people on the BL interwebs, and you're just like, he, she, they, I don't know what your preference for anything is. I don't know anything about this person.
Yeah.
But we besties.
Yep.
We besties. Out pops Venus. Yeah, Venus is one of these people. I don't know anything. I'm like, but we hang out in DC's chat. So like, I don't know. People is people, man.
Like I could tell you what series, what person is campaigning for, what series, what actors these people like. I could not
and we
tell
know
you
what stream of things like this
what
person
color
is
hair
going
they
to
have,
want,
how old they are.
This person
I can
don't
tell
want
you
the Chinese
who agrees
shows.
with my opinions in my chat and all that, but I could not tell you anything else.
Right? Like today we watched Guardian and Alex popped up and was like, yes! A Guardian friend! Right? Because it's just like who's in your little bubbles, but you don't know anything about them. Right? Nothing. Yes. So how do you guys feel about or think how can fandoms support if they're trying to support and not being toxic?
Well, what I really like, what have seen with Non to Non, I think the fandom where I'm most in right now, because BTS has to start up again for me, and I'm a real army, but not in the fandom. So, but Non, I'm very close with Non fam, and you can sometimes tell he has sometimes something on his mind, and you can just tell. You see how the interaction can be between him and his fans, how they support him and to be happy again, but other way around, when he sees his fans being sad, he can support them. He's like a normal person. He was just had his birthday, and the fans, they set up a lot of things for him. He just comes in to these fans that we made for him, and he gets cake. He's just hanging out with them, and there's this personal connection, and they're there to make each other happy, and that's what I love. And I know that for BTS, it's not possible to do that. The fandom is too big and too toxic, also. But within, like even on stage, when he sees that his fans doesn't act the way he wants, he speaks out in a fun way. He makes them go, this, we don't do this like this, and I love that. And the fans accept that from him. And other way around, and that's the wholesomeness that I see. That's like he calls them non-fam for family, and it's like it really is a family. And of course, it's just a small fan base, because in Thailand there's a big fan base, but it's not as big as like BTS has, like global. Even though we are internet, he has a little international fans like me. But
I've seen Nod. Nod is an amazing performer.
So I cannot wait to see him. perform, but he has this special connection. But I think BTS also has with their fandom, but the fandom is too big
Yeah, it
and
is.
too big to handle. If they say
Yeah,
we don't like this, it's just too big.
yeah,
But within the and Jeff Sutter also, the sats are very precious with Jeff, and Jeff with the sats. It's so beautiful, but because it's containable, I don't know how you say it.
yeah.
Like BTS is not
Yeah.
containable; it's too big
No.
to handle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think
Yeah,
for
what
me
go
with
ahead. Mhm.
fandom spaces, it can also help with like connection to the artist, because I've been in smaller fandoms as an international fan. I have no idea what's going on because most releases are in Korean or whatever, and the space is curated more for like their country and things. If it wasn't for the fandom and following people from that and interacting with it, I wouldn't know what's going on.
Mhm.
Like, I wouldn't know what the artists are doing or what the actors doing or things like that. So I think it can bring in a lot of connection in with the artist or even with other people. And also with fandoms, it's just maybe not so much with fandoms, but fans. I'll call it fan spaces. Like, I met a lot of good people because I found Sean's reactions, and I met his community, and that's, well, obviously how I got here. And because of that, it has given me a space to be myself and open up to things that I probably wouldn't have been able to if I didn't have that space. So I think it can be a safe space for many people, whether it's within a fandom, a subset of the fandom.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of people need that, and they need that connection. So with the way fandoms work now, it's not just like, oh, I have my group of friends and we're all fangirling over this like one artist or one actor together. It's like, oh, well, I really like this series. I really like these actors. I'm going to go online and find people that also like these. And you can really build supportive spaces within fandoms. And I think many people need that.
Funny you should mention, Sadea says, perks of fandoms for me, making friends, or go to Sean's stream, kidnap a few of his viewers, force them to become your friends, and now one of them is even considering moving in with
That's the wrong
me
one.
because they can't find an apartment in time when they leave their student dorm. Aw,
Oh,
so
that
Yeah.
is so
kidnap people
wholesome.
right?
Yeah.
Go kidnap people in comment sections.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
I got Warren from Tover's comment section, so there's always people, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
But like Sean, that's how I ended up here
Me
with all you
too.
guys.
I met
So
Sean and then Topher and then
I
the rest.
got in
Yeah.
through Topher. I
Oops.
came in through the
That's not
Topher.
yeah.
So I'm just like scrolling. I'm trying to keep up with what's actually coming
Topher is
through.
glitching, y'all. Oh, got the 19-year-old up too early this morning. He's a college kid. He's supposed to be out partying on Friday nights. Got up too early. Oh man. Yeah. I think it's good when the spaces are supportive as well to the artists. You know, we have the like food truck tradition and stuff in Thailand, and we have here they will send like flowers and stuff for your events and that kind of stuff, like giant flower racks and that kind of stuff. And for Thailand, recently we have a Thai BL cafe in Ikebukuro in Tokyo, and they will decorate for pretty much everybody's birthday. So like if your actor is a bigger name actor, they'll have like a full like panel on the door and everything. If not, you get like smaller things inside or whatever, and you can go. It's a literal hole in the wall. You can't. It's like 4 seats, and if you're at the end seat, everybody has to get up for you to leave. It is that small, but it's a space, right?
Yeah.
It's a space. So, you know, just being able to do those sort of things have those sort of communities. This is why I met Ninon's dad, because they put on a birthday event at that, and I was just like, let me go see what's on, and everybody's crowding around this dude, and he was like, I don't speak Japanese, and I was like, I can help you, I can speak Japanese for you, so I ended up translating for not random fans and Ninon's dad, and I'm like, what is on my birthday? I'm like, now all the rest of my birthdays are ruined because when is it ever going to be this good again?
Yeah, that's special.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it can be, good if you can support your artists in that way and also support other fans, right? For me, as someone in Japan space, I try to do, I post about these events that I go to. I post about, I surprisingly haven't really posted about being an extra, and I need to. I'm just lazy. But that's not me, right? Okay.
No, that's my boy so popular. It's at 6 p.m. I have to take my medication.
So yeah, I try to post about these things, and I haven't done it in a while, but I used to try to be in IG lives and just you can't translate everything. There's a lot going on. The comments are, and I'm just like, oh, he said, happy birthday to this person. Sometimes I'll try to do that kind of stuff. I try to, with Japan specifically, they will announce 13 seconds before a show drops that it's on Gaga Ulala, right? You're like, y'all negotiated this yesterday, didn't you? But for that reason, I will put a trailer in their own set of comments. If they want to delete it, they can delete it because it's there for them, right? It's not there for me. So I would, sub the trailer or whatever. And that's how I personally try to be supportive in fandoms, especially coming from Japan, where the international community gets ignored a lot. So hopefully that's useful for a few people. Yeah. Topher, how do you think people can be supportive of the fandoms?
Ending the fandoms. I mean, outside of ways that you guys have already said, I guess kind of piggybacking off of the dark side of fandoms, just keeping in mind who you're supporting. You're part of this fandom because you like this artist, this actor, this series, whatever it is. Keep that in mind and think, is the way I'm behaving right now, are these actions that I'm doing in this moment something that is representative of this person that I'm claiming to be a fan of? Is this something that if they saw me doing this, they would be proud, hey, that's my fan. I'm glad that my fan is out here cursing at people who have a slight difference of opinion. I'm glad that my fan is out here making people feel like they don't belong in my fandom. I'm are these behaviors things that this person that you are idolizing would want? Because I feel like that's where that's where a lot of that disconnect comes into play, when there's just no sense of accountability, and they're just nope, I'm just gonna say and do anything I want. And so just think before you say something, before you post something, before you do something. Just think to yourself, is this beneficial in any way? Is this a good representation of myself? Is this a good representation of this artist I'm claiming to be in love with? Is this and I feel like that could avoid 90% of things, because I feel we've said so many times, and I'm not going to pick on them, but we've talked about the BTS fandom from both perspectives. I've had both sets of interactions with those fans. I've had some interactions through comment sections and whatnot where I'm I don't need to react to them anymore. I enjoy their music, but maybe I don't need to react to them anymore because I don't feel like dealing with this. But then on the same note, I've had other interactions where like last summer, whatever, I saw Jin, I think, was coming to Tampa for our solo concert. I'm like, and tickets were relatively cheap. And I'm like, be a BTS member in Florida? In Tampa? And it's not an arm and a leg? What? So like I just bought a ticket on a whim, and like literally within me being there for like 30 seconds, there was someone just handing out stickers like, here you go. And I'm like, oh, thank you. And people just like, and it's the community and it's lovely. So like I've had those great experiences where it's like, yes, there are genuine people who just love to be part of this community and they love the music and they're just here for good times and vibes. And then there are other people who take it so seriously to the point that it crosses into this strange possessive territory. And I'm like, girl, why? Girl, why? It's just music and vibes. We're just here vibing. So it's like you get the best of both. When I went to see SP19, loved it. Oh my God. Like the second we weren't even in the building yet. Sean and I were just standing out line and like people in the line were just coming and like just so welcoming and like they've seen our reactions and it was just like such a warm, positive experience. And I love being there.
Fandom is wonderful. They've been
wonderful.
So supportive to K-pop Beat.
And like you can see like that stems from SB19 themselves, because we were lucky enough to, you know, get a chance to go on stage and, you know, take pictures with them. And
someday that will be me.
Like I was so goddamn starstruck. Like I had plans to like say or do whatever, and like Pablo said one thing to me. He complimented my jacket, and I was just like, and then Sean's like, oh yeah,
that would be me.
Yeah, that would be
Sean's
me
like,
too.
such and such said that they've seen your videos. I'm like, girl, who said what? What? Me?
Right down.
I'm still here on this thing. Like, what do you mean? Like, but like, it was just such a wonderful experience. So like, there are so many great experiences that can be had as a result of being part of a fandom or being interacting with people who are deep in the fandom, and it's just a matter of keep having just some sort of sense of reality.
Yes.
Like I feel like people who lose touch with reality and they no longer have boundaries and they think that they are in charge of it. I'm like, no, that's when we start crossing toxicity. Like setting reasonable expectations and having a sense of reality, keeping in touch with reality is probably one of the best things you can do for your fandom.
Yes.
And I just want to mention, like, Yemi had mentioned about the translating and things like that, and I just want to do a shout out to all the fandom people that translate stuff for us international fans, whether it be for BL, K-pop, all of that, because without them, I would not be able to be so interactive and involved in everything.
True.
Yeah, I got to shout out the magazine people. I do not do magazines. I don't even read them, right? So magazine people, thank you, right? But people translating news, because I do the little news, you know, the announcements and stuff when I get them. But sometimes people are faster, or sometimes like it's a busy week or whatever. So people who translate news, like this is happening, you know, the news that we would not have gotten. Especially like I am doing this for Japan, but I have no idea when it comes to Korea or Thailand, right? Like they recently announced his show was coming to older movie was coming to Japan, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can actually read this name because the Korean was super simple. I was like, yay! I was so proud of myself. But usually I have no idea what Korean is saying either. So for all the people who are bringing all of that news and stuff, thank you AJ for mentioning it, because we need all of that, right?
Because as much as I would love to learn Korean and Thai and everything, I ain't got time. I have a full family to look after, so
I'm working on my Thai. Working on his Filipino.
I'm working on my Thai every Monday and Thursday, but it's hard learning Thai. It's really hard.
Oh. I will get there though.
Me too. One day.
Me too. One day I do plan to learn at least basic Korean.
Basic is fine. Basic is fine, but I can't do much. I can again order a coffee. I will get by ordering a coffee. I don't drink coffee. I don't know why I'm ordering a a coffee.
Everywhere she goes, she's ordering a coffee. Like, I need to get to the expressway.
All right, so it's been 2 hours, so we're gonna get our final thoughts in because people probably have lives they have to get back to. It's the middle of the night for me, and I'm going to go stream after.
Go to bed.
I don't have anything to get to. But before we get in, so think of your final thoughts while I tell Topher that Claire said her first BL was Dark Blue and Moonlight.
I saw that.
Oh my God.
Scrolling back. I saw that. I was like, wow.
Oh my gosh.
That is
and you
stayed. Yes, you stayed.
Because
I don't remember everything about that, but I remember having very intense feelings about that. Justice for Ping Jun. Why do I remember his name? I don't know.
The dad was he popped up in Trap Vicky. He was the inspector.
Yes.
Oh man. Dark Blue and Moonlight. Oof. Yeah.
I consumed so many BLs when I first fell into the space that I know it started with something Korean, but it's like I really don't know where, and then I just fell into Thai stuff because of a streaming service. So
oh no, I know my exact lineage.
But early on,
and then
Guardian
stuff. My Love Mix Up was the first one, and then Love on the Line, Cherry Magic. It was the ones that were on Netflix.
Life on the Line. That was an early one for me as well.
Right. That one was a ride, but Cherry Magic.
I think I might have started in with Where Your Eyes Linger, maybe.
That's one is beautiful.
Because I was very much in the Korean K-drama phase, and then I fell into that. So
yeah, I started in the Philippines. I think I jumped to Korea, Japan. I think Korea, maybe Taiwan, then Japan. Thailand was like the last country. And then I was like, oh, there's so much here.
Right.
Well, that was I was watching some KBLs, and then I kind of got into some of the Japanese ones. I'm like, oh, this is wonderful. And then I just fell into the Thai space, and I realized how many there were. And I'm like, I'm going to be watching forever.
Yes. and ever.
It was such a shock to me diving into Thailand because, like I said, I came from Philippines, Korea, where everything was like 10 minutes. 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
Japan is funny.
And I was like, how did we get to this hour and a half long episode? What? This is 2 seasons of the countries I just came from. What do you mean? It's 1 episode.
All right.
Oh man.
But my final thoughts about fandoms is they can be wonderful spaces if you curate who you're talking to and what you're interacting with, and you can find some of your best friends within them. And the problem comes in when people cross the lines and think they have control over when it no longer becomes support and it becomes trying to control.
Any final thoughts, Topher?
Like I said in the intro, like I'm not super deep into any fandom, so like my thoughts are kind of akin to like various series that I've consumed that just weren't my bag. Like it's not for me, but I'm happy it's there for people who need it or for people who want it. Love in the air. So
want it.
Yeah. So if you enjoy the fandom life and you enjoy I'm happy that it's there for you.
I was waiting for that to come up this entire time and you didn't.
Right?
I was doing good.
The
Honestly, it probably wouldn't have come up until Mala Mill said that was her first. Like it's recency in my head now. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a thing. But I've done very good at not naming another series or other fandoms.
I know.
Yeah,
I was
Topher,
also
we don't need
surprised that
everybody
hasn't come
after
up
us.
either. So for me, I guess my final thoughts. Again, yeah, moderation. I love what Topher said about would your fan, your Oshi. I don't know the word for this in English. What is an Oshi in English? The person you're supporting, would they be happy to know you are their fan doing this thing? That is an excellent way to put that.
It is.
Yeah, take the high road. I find that, like I said, my interaction with fandom is actually mostly in Japan, so we do take care of ourselves in a certain way, and we do support our artists. We do a lot of stuff, for them. So be the best fan that you can be, pretty much, right? And where you can help out. Push your artists in the ways you can. If you don't worry, if you don't have $140 to spend on a light stick, share their videos. Google their name. I feel like Googling, like, that's an underrated support there, though. But like, Google, can you imagine you just randomly start like popping up on Google suggestions because one day 1 million people decided to Google your name? That's a random but useful support, right? So just, support in the ways that you can. If you don't have the money, there's a zillion ways these days to do free support. So do them. And help the other members of the community in the ways you can. If you don't have time or the energy, fine. But if somebody is struggling with something, like, I cannot tell this member from this member, like, you can do that. Oh, the one with the curl is this one. Look for this. This one always does this. Help the newbies. Newbies are often lost. Help the newbies.
Yes.
Right, when you first get to a group or something, or a show or BL, like, you first come into Thailand. What is a ship? Why does everybody, like in BL in general, why does everybody fall and land on their mouths and their noses don't break? The newbies are confused. Help the newbies. I'm still confused, but I'm gonna help the newbies.
Why does no one know how to buckle a seatbelt?
Yes.
Turn off a light.
Why do we need a sponge bed?
Oh my goodness. But yeah, so that's my final thoughts. Mochi, any final thoughts?
Well, I think that fandoms can be wholesome. I've like I said, I've met very beautiful, even youngsters. Like we have like a Discord BTS thingy, and I met like really like they weren't supposed to be on Discord, but young ones. And my name is Mama Mochi, so what happens is I get all the young ones under my wings, and there's some were living in Myanmar and places where were war and stuff, so you somehow get to I don't know how you say I became a mama for them, talking about their troubled life, like how scared they were and stuff. You can become like supportive, even though you don't can help, but you can always listen. That's what I found very wholesome in fandoms that we can find. And I love to support the artists that I love, and what I get in return, because I am a YouTube reactor, like with Nont, his fans found me and they're so supportive of me that they now even like, we're going to see him in Düsseldorf. There's this one lady in Italia. She's Jeff and non-fam. She's coming too, and she's like screaming all over Twitter. I'm going to meet Mama Mochi.
I've seen that.
It's like I was like,
I'm not friends with her, but I know.
My heart just melted. It's like, that. It's like it's just that. Fandoms can be very beautiful. I don't do toxicity. I keep them out of my space, out of my energy. So So yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so in conclusion, be good people, be good people.
Yeah, exactly.
So we've been here for a while.
While, yeah.
I didn't think I usually have like 20 questions listed. I had like 4 for this, and I was like, "Oh, we gonna be wrapped up in no time."
No, this is
not
the
many
longest
questions.
one yet, I think.
It's like one question took 17 hours.
Yep, yep.
Right? 17, 20 enemies. Not wrapped up in no time. But we had a lot to say, and it was very interesting.
Yes.
I love to see your comments. Sorry that we did not get to all the comments. We had more comments this time than we've ever had. So thank you guys so much for coming through and supporting.
I've been reading as we go.
I've been reading, but I wasn't able to pick up everybody. I think
exactly.
We might have grown to the stage where we need to be selective. Oh my goodness. But thank you. Right? Thank you, all of you, for coming through. Hi, Warren. Warren's also DramaLlama team. Hi. Everybody say hi, Warren. But yeah, thank you guys for coming through. Again, things that you can check out by DramaLlama recently. We just dropped an interview from Aichaku with Christopher McCombs, who is the producer, writer, owns the company, actor, wrote the song, like the man did everything. He's like, this movie is going to happen if I have to wash the toilets myself. So go check out.
Would not be surprised if he did.
I would not be surprised.
Caterer.
Breakfast. He literally cooked breakfast for the whole crew.
Wow.
Because catering canceled the day, like the same day. So
that's sweet.
Right? So he's everything.
Wow.
So check out that interview. And also find us, if you haven't already, on DramaLlamas with a D, DramaLlamaZ.com. I don't even remember. .com. That's where the official platform is. And you can join us.
Are in the the links are in our profile on Twitch.
Yes. That is a good, yes, there are links in the profile. I probably put them there, but I am old and female. So, yes.
Usually I'm quick with the links in the chat, not today.
So, thank you all for joining us. I'll be back on my personal space in about maybe 20 minutes.
No, you won't. You're going to bed.
Bed, Yummy.
Sober is delusional. We will be back here next month, so stay tuned to all the official DramaLlama channels or our personal spaces where we tell you where we'll be, when we'll be here, and what we will be talking about next month. As always, feel free to make your suggestions, so you can message any of us or hit us up on DramaLlama platform. We are very open to suggestions.
Yes.
Anything inside the BLGL world, we're open to talking about. So thank you again, everybody, for joining us. We will see you again next month. Bye.
Oh, that's me.